Customer killed by Checkers worker in dispute that allegedly started over extra mayonnaise. Wow, highly emotional man. And this is the perpetrator. And this is the criminal right here. A YN, man. 23 years old, he threw his life away because he couldn't control his emotions. Shot a man over a packet of mayonnaise. Unbelievable. Real animalistic behavior. Now, I just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMS that do rule well, that do teach well, that have taught me this truth. To you I say shalom, and shalom unto the hopeful elect. A verbal dispute over a food order at Checkers escalated into a fatal shooting. And obviously this is in Florida, that wacky-tacky state, which is a gun state. So hey, if it happens in Florida, I understand why. Florida is a very demonic state. But anyways, I digress. Hey, you got to stay away from these YNs and these 2/3, man. My rule is 2 or 3 or more walk out the fucking door. And that just simply means if there's 2 or 3 or more black people in the vicinity, get the hell up out of there. Now, if you have to stay in that area where they're at, because you got to do business, just keep things brief and move on. That's it. But don't get involved with them because you might lose your life. That's just how it is. Highly emotional. This guy threw his life away because he didn't want to give extra mayonnaise to the customer. And this shows you that this guy is an animal, man. He didn't even care about that guy's life. He didn't care if that guy was a husband, a father, a provider. He didn't even give a shit. He just shot the man. The man jumped out the drive-through window, chased the man down, argued with him, and then shot him in the chest. That's fucked up. And why aren't you FBAs and you so-called black conscious people, why aren't you calling this type of behavior out? No, you're not going to do that because you want things to be all lovey-dovey. Once you call out some real problems, you want to blame the so-called white man and install a victim mentality into our people. You people are full of shit. Full of shit. Full of shit. And that shows you we don't really have any elders among our community. Well, it's not really my community. I don't associate with the black community. I don't. But us Hebrew Israelites, we have elders. Because our elders and apostles wouldn't condone this type of behavior. We call this shit out. I know our elders, they call this behavior out and they go into the scriptures and show you that we're not supposed to be acting this way. And then they show you why we're behaving this way. And it's because of the curses. Look at this YN, man. You gotta stay away from YNs, man. Unbelievable. So this is Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. Facts. That's true. Yeah, and that's a reality for the so-called black community. And really Israelites in general. That includes you Latinos and Native Americans. That's the reality for you. Children rule over you. They tell you what to do. They disrespect you. They run amok on the streets, causing problems, vandalizing things, shooting shit up. You got something called stick up kids. That's messed up. You shouldn't have that. Which group of people is infamously known for that? You so-called blacks, Latinos and Native Americans. You have stick up kids in your neighborhoods. So that means they're oppressing you. They're holding you up at gunpoint and robbing you. That's fucked up. Got real problems, man. And like I said, why aren't you FBAs, you fundamental black Americans, and you so-called black conscious individuals, why aren't you guys calling this stuff out? And they're oppressors, and women rule over them. Yeah, women rule over the black community. They're ruling over the men, they're ruling over the children. And you know that shows you so-called black people, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you guys function like hyenas, man. When you go into the hyena world, look at the hierarchy. Who rules? You got the matriarch, which is the female. She rules over the whole entire pack. She's over the children and she's over the men. And you know what? The matriarch, she treats the man like shit. the man being the father. And she has the children going against the father. And you know who that represents? Big Shirley. She eats all the food, she abuses the kids, and she kicks her man out the house and causes the children to go against the father. And you so-called black men, Native American men, and Latino men, you get no respect in your communities, man. You get no fucking respect. And that's a damn shame. Damn shame. This is why we got to get the hell up out of here, man. Let me read this again. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. That's right. And it's a combination of women and these poverty pimps that are ruling over our people. Poverty pimps being so-called Christian church, especially the black church. Here it is. You go to church every goddamn day and every weekend. You pay your tithes. And then this guy, he's living fat, man. He's living in a big mansion. He's able to ride around in his Rolls Royce. But then you're broke. And then you go to them and you ask for some money, and then they can't give you money. Those are the people that are over you, that are teaching you things, man. And let's be real, you ain't learning anything in the so-called black church. They're just money hungry. They're just a bunch of hustlers and hucksters, man. But that's who rules over you. And you like it. But that's why the scripture says, Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Good. And that's your fault. You rejected Yahweh Shem Shai, so now he's going to reject you. And this is a form of rejection right here. You got rejected, son. Now you're going to jail for the rest of your life, and good. Because you're destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Now let me read the bottom part. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. And we're supposed to seek out the old paths, being the scriptures, doing the things what our forefathers did back in the past, in the ancient world. Shows you he ain't doing that. This guy doesn't have a thorough education in the scriptures. He didn't have no father in the home. So now he's destroyed. Scripture says the scriptures were written aforetime for our learning. He ain't learning shit. He ain't being taught shit. And that shows you there's no elders in the so-called black community teaching our kids. Come on, man. Bug outs. So let's get Zechariah 13 and 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. And all the land that it's talking about, it's referring to America. That's all. This is what's going to take place in America. So 2/3 in America are going to be cut off. That's 66.6% of the nation of Israel found in America. You're going to be cut off and you're going to die. You're going to die by these plagues out here. That main plague, which is thermonuclear destruction. Now, there's going to be many plagues that are going to hit this land. You got martial law. You got concentration camps, civil unrest. You got even Yahweh Shai coming back with them ships. He's going to destroy you 2/3 too. So a lot of our people, they're going to die. 2/3. You know why? Because they ain't right. And this guy is most likely a part of the 2/3 club. 2/3 acts like this. A verbal dispute over a food order. Some ignorant shit. You blow a man away over food, man. Ridiculous. 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the 3rd shall be left therein. The 3rd, yeah. That's referring to the elect. They're going to be saved. The 1/3, they're the righteous. That's who the Lord is coming for. And the 1/3, man, They're sighing and crying for all the abominations that are being done on the earth. And this is a part of it. You know, when I looked at this, you know, I was sighing and crying. I'm just like, God damn. God damn. Really? Just shows how destroyed we are as a nation. Sighing and crying, man. It's an abomination. Verse 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my power, true. And yes, the 1/3 is going to be put through the fire, and they will be refined, and that's going through afflictions, trials, and tribulations for righteousness' sake. And that's what's going to refine you and make you perfect before the sight of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai. Right? And you know, that fire is purifying us, getting rid of all the impurities, because we've been in this place too damn long. Got to get rid of them bad habits. Got to change your mind. You got to put off that old man. Being renewed daily in the spirit. Now, let me get this. Let's get Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 18. And it says here, I said in mine heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that the Most High might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. It's true. And that's the condition out here, the human condition, for the most part, for the other nations. That's how the Lord views you. He views you as just a beast. Hey, but that also applies to Israelites that are not in the truth. And really, what makes you a beast? What makes you an animal? You not having the law, statutes, and commandments. And that's the majority of you 2/3 out here. Well, that is the 2/3. What am I talking about? That is the 2/3. You're not following the law, statutes, and commandments. So therefore, you're a beast. Therefore, you are uncivilized. And this is how uncivilized people act. This is what happens when you don't have the law, statutes, and commandments. This is what happens when you don't have the name of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai. You act out this way. Fucking animal, man. You hopped out of the drive-thru window, chased a man down, argued with him over mayonnaise, and then pulled your pistol out and shot him in the chest. Animalistic, right there. Animals, man. Anyway, that's it. Hope this was edifying or thought-provoking in the spirit. Just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMS that do rule under the teacher one that have taught me this truth. To you I say shalom, and shalom unto the hopeful elect. Kwame Shalom and Abba Ball. Shalom.